Is humanity truly meant to be on this planet? When we look around, we see that nature operates in perfect balance. Animals are flawlessly adapted to their environments. Their fur protects them from the cold, their eyes are suited for night vision, and their muscles are built for hunting or escaping. But what about humans? Why aren't we like other creatures in nature? We can't withstand prolonged exposure to the sun. We struggle to survive in extreme cold. And when left alone in the wild, even the simplest conditions can be a challenge for us. Beyond that, our development process, immune system, and even the way we are born seem almost as if we don't quite belong here. This raises an intriguing question. Are we truly a natural part of this planet, or could our origins be far more mysterious than we've ever imagined? Today, we'll dive into this question and explore different theories about the origins of humanity. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me. Welcome to my channel, Discovery of the Mystery, where we will uncover the secrets. Humankind. We get drenched in the sun, layer up with clothes in the cold, and can show allergies to many things in nature. Of course, we all experience various environmental and climate-related issues like the ones I just mentioned. But why is it that nearly all humans across the ages have dealt with these discomforts? If we are members of the group of living beings on this planet and have evolved here, then why don't we have bodies designed to withstand these external factors as well as other creatures do? How is it that, despite being the most intelligent species on this planet, humans are also among the most vulnerable? Our lifestyle, development, and physical traits seem almost as if we don't belong here, right? Interestingly, some recent studies even claim that we truly might not be native to this planet. For centuries, humans have been searching for answers about their existence and place in the universe. While mainstream science today claims that humans, like other creatures, evolved over millions of years, there are still significant gaps in this theory when it comes to our species. Take the dramatic speed of the transition from Homo erectus, our supposed ancestors, to Homo sapiens, the modern human, and the even more dramatic intelligence gap. Various researchers try to explain this with their own theories. Some argue that the cooking of meat shortened the digestion process, allowing the brain to develop more. Others believe a phenomenon called a collective consciousness leap caused the differences between the two species. And there are many more theories like these. It's still an unsolved mystery. However, if we approach things logically and scientifically, there are some serious questions that arise. When we examine the physical traits of modern humans, we quickly notice some significant design flaws. For example, our spine doesn't have the proper design to support our upright posture. This is why one of humanity's biggest issues is back and lower back pain, along with related conditions. Another example is our extreme sensitivity to the planet's climate conditions. Without protective clothing, almost none of us can endure the heat of the sun or the cold of winter. You don't even need to be born in the African desert or the North Pole for this to be true. Even in a country with a moderate climate, like ours, if you were to spend a night naked outside in the winter, you would die. Some claims suggest that our bodies were once covered in hair, which later fell out. But this explanation has never made much sense to me, because when you look at other creatures, you don't see this adaptation. Their fur is designed to protect them from both the cold and the heat. Interestingly, fur growth in cold climates is more common in nature. Yet in humans, especially among northern races, body hair is almost non-existent. The human immune system is clearly one of the weakest in nature. When we look at our history, we can see that once humans began settling down and living in close proximity to animals, we fell prey to diseases. There are thousands of diseases and just as many allergies. For tens of thousands of years, our bodies have failed to develop an effective defense against these two major threats. However, when you examine other living beings in nature, you'll notice that even the simplest creatures rarely experience these issues. In fact, some creatures we consider simple, like certain species of jellyfish, don't experience disease or aging, and under the right conditions, they are theoretically immortal. Humans, on the other hand, must constantly support their immune systems against both climatic and natural conditions. Otherwise, they'll quickly fall ill and go through processes that can lead to death. The last and perhaps most significant anomaly is our reproductive system. If you pay attention, you'll notice that in nature, it's rare to find another species where the mother is so worn out during both pre- and post-birth periods as humans are. The poor design of the spine and the narrow ribcage structure becomes very evident here, leading to severe back pain in pregnant women and, as they near delivery, causing the baby's pressure on the organs to squeeze the narrow chest cavity, leading to breathing problems. After birth, the situation remains the same. I'm sure you've all seen footage of animals giving birth in documentaries. Within just a few hours of birth, newborn animals quickly learn to walk, feed, and survive using their instincts. In species like cats and dogs, where development is relatively slower, the offspring can perform most functions very well within a couple of months. Now think about a human baby. If there are parents among my viewers, you probably understand what I mean. It takes a long time for a human baby to adapt to vital functions. It takes years for a human baby to be able to protect itself, feed, speak, and communicate effectively. The human baby is probably the most helpless and dependent on its parents compared to any other creature in nature. Apart from the basic examples I gave earlier, there are dozens of other factors to consider. For example, we are physically weaker than other animals. We have almost no night vision, our hearing is much less sensitive, and we need constant nourishment to survive. When you think about all of this, some scientists and researchers inevitably ask this question: how can a creature that is so weak compared to other species on the planet, who could barely start a fire in a cave, now be starting colonies in space in such a short time? Now we begin to dive into the more mysterious parts of this. This intriguing theory has become more popular as Earth-like habitable planets have been discovered. According to this idea, scientists who study the design flaws of the human body believe that humans may have evolved on a planet with slightly lower gravity, a stable climate instead of fluctuating one, and a smaller or much less aggressive predator population than on Earth. They suggest that for whatever reason, humans came to Earth from that planet and started living here. At first, it may sound like science fiction, but when we analyze the theories with their pros and cons, we realize they hold almost the same degree of reality as the theory that humans evolved here on Earth. In fact, we've even found planets that resemble the ones I just described. These types of stable climate planets are usually gravitationally locked planets. These worlds always have one side facing their sun, which makes one half of the planet hot and the other side cold. However, the region in between is almost a perfect living space, neither hot nor cold. This way, life can exist without dying due to natural conditions. Not too bright, not too dark. Just like how the human eye can see without needing protective glasses or artificial light sources in the evening. In a constantly temperate and fertile climate, living creatures usually don't feel the need to evolve into large predators or herbivores. Growth and wildness are typically evolutionary traits that animals develop to adapt to harsh climate conditions. In places without these conditions, humans could live without developing features like sharp claws, super sharp vision, or a sensitive sense of smell, just like the current state of our bodies. When you think about all of this, the idea that humans might not belong to Earth, that we may have come here from a different planet, starts to make sense. It's really thought-provoking, don't you think? There's another theory closely related to this topic, the ancient aliens theory. In fact, this theory is now even more popular than both the theory of evolution and the extraterrestrial planet theory I just mentioned. Personally, I find this theory very interesting, as it seems to answer nearly all the questions we have. The concept of extraterrestrial creators, which entered our lives through Erich von Däniken's book, Chariots of the Gods, has become one of the most popular creation theories today, thanks to dozens of new archaeological discoveries, ancient texts, and the internet. According to the ancient aliens theory, an advanced humanoid alien species arrived on our planet about 400,000 years ago to mine gold, and they established a colony here. The theory continues as follows. This advanced race, which began extracting the planet's rich gold resources, eventually decided to create a subordinate slave race to do the labor for them. Thus, the group's scientists, Enki, combined their genetic material with the primate species of that time, which we now refer to as Homo erectus, and created a hybrid species, humankind. This event has been transformed into stories in some of today's sacred texts, where God is said to have created humans in his image, or by breathing his soul into them. The first human created was named Adapa in Sumerian mythology, and over time, this name became Adamah in the Torah, and later Adam in sacred texts. The created human race multiplied over thousands of years, performing labor for the Anunnaki. Eventually, after a series of climatic events and the wars between the Anunnaki that caused destruction, the Anunnaki left the Earth and left humanity to take over. According to the timeline of the story, civilization began anew after this destruction, with the ancient Sumerians around 4,500 BC. Many experts claim that the sudden emergence of the Sumerian civilization in such an advanced form is explained by this theory. I also went into more detail about the Anunnaki in the video I shared on the topic. Feel free to watch it if you'd like. The ancient aliens theory is gaining popularity every day, partly because it aligns with religious stories and partly because it offers an explanation of how humankind could advance so rapidly in such a short time in evolutionary terms. In particular, many researchers use this theory to explain our irresistible obsession with gold, our physical problems, and, more importantly, why we are so incompatible and destructive compared to other creatures on this planet and the planet's natural life cycles. Because no other species has caused this level of destruction to the planet in such a short time. Of course, all of these topics are being independently studied and researched today. Whether it's the theory of evolution, ancient aliens, or the theory of migration from other planets, there are still some gaps in these theories. However, with our growing awareness and new discoveries, questions about why humanity is so incompatible with this planet and where we came from are slowly finding answers. Do you think humanity is a part of the natural course? Or is there something much more mysterious behind our creation? You can share your thoughts on this topic in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. You can support my channel by liking and commenting on my content. Until we meet again.